I'm Evan, a 36-year-old electrician from Boise, Idaho. What would you do if you came home to find your wife moving out with her college ex, your daughter calling him her fairytale dad? How would you handle 19 years of marriage crumbling in a single day? Stick around. This story of betrayal, rage, and redemption will leave you speechless. My wife chose her college ex, and my daughter now calls him her fairy tale dad. I slipped away silently, and what happened next left them both in shock. At 36, I've spent 19 years in a marriage that defines my life. I'll name her Wendy. Our daughter is 18 now. I'm an electrical contractor for massive industrial sites, earning good money handling high-voltage systems that could easily fry anyone else. The work is perilous, yet the rewards built us a comfortable home in a good neighborhood in Boise, Idaho. I'm at a job site, 30 minutes from home, drenched in sweat, wrestling heavy-duty circuit breakers in a factory. While my crew takes their lunch, I'm racing against time to finish this panel for testing after the break. Quentin, my neighbor, reached out to me. Quentin never calls during work hours. We share a friendly bond, coffee chats, game nights, but we're not the type to call each other out of the blue on a Tuesday afternoon. "Hey, how's it going?" I respond, a sense of unease creeping in. "Evan, you have to come home now," Quentin urges, his voice trembling with fear. My stomach plummets. "What's going on? Is there a blaze? Is Riley all right?" A U-Haul truck is parked outside your house. 3 men hurriedly load furniture inside. Your wife stands watch, unwavering. I wondered if you were leaving without a word, but something felt wrong. My mind just exploded. What is happening? Are you really doing this? No joke, man. Your leather couch is gone, the big TV from your living room too, along with a pile of other belongings. Your wife appears calm, but something lingers beneath the surface. She ticks items off the clipboard, each mark a step closer to something unknown. "I'll be there in 20, I declared, tearing off my work gloves with urgency. I dashed to my supervisor, breathless, and urgently explained there was an emergency at home, potentially a robbery unfolding. He glanced at my face, then nodded, understanding everything without a word. "Run." I shattered every speed limit on my way home. Thoughts surged through my mind, relentless and chaotic. Was this a meticulously planned daylight heist? Was Wendy coerced into helping at gunpoint? Did she break and choose to abandon our marriage? Everything felt wrong. Racing into the neighborhood, I spotted the U-Haul from afar, a massive 26-footer awkwardly parked, intruding on our lawn. There's Wendy, calm in her yoga pants and tank top, clipboard in hand, as strangers haul our furniture away. What pushed me over the edge was this tall guy in designer shades and a polo, barking orders at the movers like he owned the place, standing on my property, dictating what happened to my things. I hit the brakes hard, parked the truck, and leaped out, leaving the door wide open. I charged straight at that polo shirt guy. "What on earth are you doing?" I yelled, invading his space. The clown shot me a quick, irritated glance and snapped, "Mind your business, dude." I can't recall ever choosing to strike him. My body acted without my command. My fist slammed into his jaw, the shockwave racing up to my shoulder. He crashed to the ground, sunglasses scattering, blood seeping from his lip. In an instant, I was upon him, consumed by fury. 19 years together, countless hours sacrificed, never once straying. A stranger boldly snatches my belongings right before my eyes. "You dare to take from me?" I screamed, throwing blow after blow. The movers stood frozen, eyes wide as I broke free. I clutched his collar tightly, my other hand racing to dial 911. A robbery at my house. I gasped to the dispatcher, my breath quickening. One of them is under control. Call the police immediately. I shared my address and ended the call. Wendy's scream pierced the air. Evan, what are you doing? Release him. She hurled her clipboard aside and charged at me, pushing with such force that I lost my hold on him. She fell to her knees beside him, her hands trembling as she wiped the blood from his nose with her sleeve. The look in her eyes pierced through me, and in that moment, everything changed. Are you familiar with this awful person? I asked, the answer echoing in my mind, yet craving the confirmation. Wendy's gaze pierced through me, her expression forever etched in my memory. Not guilt, not shame, just annoyance, as if I were the source of all the chaos. Yes, she replied, her voice chillingly cold. This is Roger, my boyfriend, my heart. I swear time froze, and a deafening ring filled my ears. 19 years, a lifetime shared, and this is how it ends. In an instant, my foot struck Roger's ribs with brutal force. He gasped, collapsing inward. With precision, I struck him once more, landing the blow perfectly. His high-pitched wheeze pierced the air, a sound that would have been comical if not for the weight of the moment. I yelled at Wendy, "You're my wife! How can you move our things out with him?" I glanced at the U-Haul, then turned my gaze back to her. What is this? You're just gone, taking half of our stuff without a word? She rose, shaking the dirt from her knees. I planned to call you later. I just couldn't bear the drama. A moment, as if it were merely a fleeting annoyance. As if she could shatter our whole world without a single word. The cops arrived before I could grasp the chaos unfolding. 2 cruisers, sirens wailing. The neighbors gathered on their porches, eyes glued to the unfolding drama. The massive cop stepped in front of me, blocking my view of Roger, who lay on the ground, groaning softly. What's happening here? He demanded, his hand poised near his weapon. I'm the homeowner, I managed to say, my voice trembling. A call from my neighbor shattered my calm. Strangers were loading my furniture into a truck. I walked in to see him orchestrating the chaos of the movers. My wife has chosen to walk away, taking half of everything, without a word. The officer's gaze pierced through Wendy. Ma'am, is this your husband? Her nod was sharp, anger simmering beneath the surface. So, you're taking things out of the house? I'm taking my half, she declared, as if it were the only truth that mattered. The officer exhaled heavily. Ma'am, you can't just take what isn't yours without a court say-so. Without a judge's order, you can't touch the furniture or major belongings. Wendy's expression shifted from irritation to disbelief. What is happening? That's absurd. This is all mine. Half of it anyway. Perhaps, he replied. Legal documentation is essential before dividing property. Your actions at this moment might just cross the line into theft. Her jaw fell in shock. Robbery? It's mine as well. The law isn't on your side, ma'am. Follow the right legal steps. At that moment, the second cop lifted Roger to his feet. His face was swelling. Blood streaked across his chin. His eyes burned with fury, yet he chose silence. What am I meant to do now? Wendy insisted. Take only what is yours. Your clothes, toiletries, personal items, nothing more. Yet all shared possessions, furniture, electronics, remain until the court's verdict shatters the silence. Wendy seemed on the brink of bursting. This is everything. This is unbelievable. Roger finally found his voice, strained and raw from his broken nose. Come on, let's escape together. We'll find a way somehow. Little one. I surged forward, but the officer seized me. Enough is enough, he declared with conviction. One more step like that, and you'll be locked up as well. I stepped back, but the fury burned on. The cops glared at the movers, who lingered like spectators in a gripping drama, frozen in disbelief. Unload everything from the truck now. Here. They exchanged glances and began hauling everything back inside. This isn't over, Wendy hissed, stomping into the house to pack her clothes. Oh, this is only the beginning, I called after her. Once the cops departed, one lingered, ensuring everything was restored, while Wendy gathered only her personal belongings. I sat in my living room, eyes fixed on the wall, grappling with the chaos that had just unfolded. My knuckles throbbed, bruised and swollen. My wedding ring seared into my skin, a constant reminder of the weight of my vows. I ripped it away and flung it onto the coffee table. I remained there, waiting, as Riley walked through the door from school. She entered, backpack hanging loosely, and froze at the sight of me. Dad, why are you here? She glanced at the living room, furniture scattered, a few drops of blood staining the carpet, evidence of the fight with Roger. What transpired? I beckoned to the empty space beside me. Listen up, kid. We have something important to discuss. She sat, anxiety coursing through her. Is everything all right? I inhaled sharply. Your mom is gone. She's with someone new. I braced for disbelief, chaos, perhaps even heartbreak. I never saw it coming when Riley simply nodded and said, Oh, you mean Roger? Breath vanished, a blow to the chest. You knew about him? She picked at her nails, avoiding my gaze. Yeah, Mom mentioned it some time back. For how long? My voice echoed emptiness. Even I could feel it. She simply shrugged. About half a year, perhaps. He's the one from her college days, the one who still haunts her memories. Last year, they found each other again on Facebook. Every word cut deep. My daughter kept the secret of my wife's betrayal for months, never uttering a single word to me. He's her soulmate, Riley said, her gaze fixed elsewhere. Destined to unite, yet fate intervened. He left for Europe the moment college ended, and just like that, they faded away. She confessed she married you solely for your stability and the promise of being a good provider. I was nothing more than a backup, just a source of cash. Riley shrugged once more. She called you a good choice, dependable, kind, yet her heart never belonged to you like it did to Roger. Her nonchalance cut deep, as if she were merely chatting about the weather, oblivious to the fact that my whole existence had been a cruel deception, and she had played a part in hiding the truth from me. If Roger had stayed in the States, your mom would have chosen him, and you would have been his child. Wouldn't that have been better? I asked, my voice trembling with barely contained emotion. Yeah, Riley murmured, her eyes lost in a distant world. Mom believes they're destined for each other. It was almost perfect. Who else is aware of this? I pleaded. What about Roger? Do Grandma and Grandpa understand? I mentioned Wendy's parents. They never truly cared for you, she whispered. They believed Mom deserved more. The breaking point had arrived. 19 years spent with them. 19 Christmases, Thanksgivings, and birthdays. Fixing cars, helping with moves, building a deck for their retirement home in Spokane, Washington. They never truly cared for me. I laughed, a sound bursting forth like a sudden spark in the dark. The sound was anything but joyful. Father, are you all right? Riley's gaze sharpened. Worry etched across her face. I smiled at her, but my eyes betrayed the truth. I will be okay. I'll deliver precisely what everyone desires. That night was sleepless, consumed by relentless planning. By morning, my resolve was unshakable. First stop, Warren's law office in Boise, where tension hangs thick in the air. Warren is a fierce divorce attorney, navigating the treacherous waters of high-conflict splits in town. In high school, we shared the thrill of football, and last year, I rewired his entire house without asking for a dime. I entered unannounced, but his secretary glanced at me and swiftly led me in. Jesus, Evan, you look like... What's happening? I revealed everything to him, every last detail. As I wrapped up, he was already reaching for the forms. I need this done now, I said, and I must safeguard all I hold dear. She receives only the bare minimum allowed, nothing extra. Warren nodded, a silent agreement heavy with unspoken weight. Today, we take action. Urgent hearing to halt asset removal, as she has already attempted to dispose of property. What happens with custody? I laughed. A sharp edge to the sound. Allow her to keep Riley. They are perfect for one another. Warren's eyebrow arched, silence hanging heavy in the air. Child support remains mandatory. All right. Only what the law demands until she turns 18? Nothing more. I left the lawyer's office, heart racing, and headed straight to the bank. I approached the teller, ID in hand, ready for what came next. I have to take my share from our joint account, I stated. Everything. Brenda, the teller, froze, her eyes widening at the balance. Nearly $23,000. Our emergency fund, along with savings for the kitchen remodel we had dreamed of. The whole sum, sir. In truth, I admitted, reflecting on it. Keep $37 in there. Her eyes fluttered, uncertainty washing over her. That's a precise figure. That's precisely what my wife has added to that account over the past year, I said. The remainder was drawn from my paychecks. I called HR and took Wendy off my life insurance beneficiary list, replacing her with my sister. I reported our credit cards lost, ensuring they'd be deactivated immediately. Ended our shared Costco membership, Netflix, Hulu, Amazon Prime, all that matters. I called the gym, informing them my wife was off the family plan. I called my mom, my heart racing, and shared everything that had unfolded. I can't say I'm surprised, she whispered, the weight of her words hanging in the air. Her gaze roamed, even on your special day. Why didn't you speak up? Would you have heard me? Love consumed you completely. I had nothing to show for it. A fleeting sensation, mothers understand it all. We lingered in conversation, and I revealed my decision to give Wendy custody of Riley. Are you really certain? Mom inquired. Riley remains your daughter, despite the challenges she brings. I can't face her at this moment, Mom. Each glimpse of her face ignites the burning question. How could she know and stay silent? Her excitement was palpable. She longed for another man to be her father. She's just 18, Evan. Children that age utter the most ridiculous things. They fail to grasp the weight of their actions. She's on the brink of discovery. But my mom had more to say. If you truly believe you can't manage having Riley by your side, she can stay with me until everything calms down. In anger, avoid choices that bind you forever. I nodded, my mind racing with possibilities. Perhaps my mother knew best. In that moment, the mere idea of seeing Riley's face each day, aware of her role in this betrayal, was unbearable. The following day, Wendy received shocking papers at the salon where she styled hair in Meridian, Idaho. The process server I hired, after paying extra for same-day service, turned pale as a ghost upon realizing what she was delivering. Absolutely nothing. The house was mine, purchased 2 years before our vows. My truck belonged to the company. Her car was hers to keep. A small victory in the chaos. No alimony. We both earned our keep, equally matched in pay. Only basic child support for Riley, just months away from adulthood. Her messages bombarded my phone all afternoon. I ignored the call, letting it ring out 10 times. On the 11th ring, I picked up. What is happening? Her scream pierced the silence the moment I answered. Divorce papers? I believe that was clear from the legal jargon. I spoke with a steady voice. You want to strip me bare, don't you? This isn't how it goes, Evan. I take my share of it all. Laughter erupted from deep within me. You receive half of everything we built together in our time as partners. I owned the house long before we said I do. My 401k is safe. Your retirement account stands strong. No alimony. We earn the same. Your car is yours now. You're receiving what you're owed, which, honestly, is far more than you deserve after betraying me with him for months. This isn't finished, she spat. I will not back down. Wishing you all the best. Riley's texts reveal your betrayal. It's been going on for 6 months. Yesterday, you attempted to steal our furniture. I have the police report. I've got Warren as my lawyer. He devours bargain basement attorneys for breakfast. In that moment, tears streamed down her face, a desperate attempt to pull at my heartstrings. How can I begin anew with nothing after 19 years by your side? Have I not earned something for all those years? You've got Roger, I whispered. Your one true love, isn't it? The one who was meant for you from the start. Now, you can be together, free from my presence. Isn't that what you truly desired? I ended the call before her voice could reach me. Our first court date arrived 2 weeks later. Warren fought hard for a swift hearing, and with Wendy's attempt to take property as evidence, the judge relented. I arrived in my finest suit, clean-shaven, exuding all the respectability I could muster. Warren stood there, files in hand, exuding the fierce intensity of a predator ready to pounce in the courtroom. Wendy walked in moments later, accompanied by her lawyer, a young woman named Quinn, who seemed straight out of law school. Roger stood beside her, his face a lingering reminder of our first encounter. They were across the courtroom, their stares piercing through me, heavy with accusation. Riley arrived with Wendy's parents, eyes averted as if I were a stranger from the past. I remained impassive, though it pierced me to see her with those who supported Wendy's chaos. The judge took charge, and Wendy's lawyer charged in, demanding half the house, support, and retirement. Warren, unflinching, extinguished everything in an instant. The house belonged to me long before we tied the knot. Our retirement accounts stood apart, and spousal support was off the table. We earned nearly the same. Warren revealed receipts that exposed Wendy's minimal contributions, and the judge ruled in our favor. Then the truth hit hard. Wendy chose not to fight for custody, claiming she was starting fresh with her new partner and couldn't bear to disrupt Riley's final year of high school. Riley stood there, shock etched across her face. Warren proposed she stay with Wendy's parents for a while, and to her shock, they said yes. The judge decided, sealing our fate for now, and commanded us to provide support. As we exited the courtroom, Riley's voice pierced the air, calling my name. I halted, locking eyes with her. She seemed smaller, almost childlike, a stark contrast to the teenager who had so nonchalantly declared I was merely a placeholder in her mother's life. "Why won't you let me stay with you?" she pleaded, tears cascading down her cheeks. "You despise me now." A flicker of warmth stirred within me. "I don't hate you, Riley. But every glance at you pulls me back to the secret you kept, the words that cut deep. How you wished Roger had been your father instead of me." "I didn't mean it," she sobbed. I was only echoing Mom's words. "The issue lies here," I murmured. "You trusted her completely. You accepted it. You chose your path, leaving me behind." Her grandmother wrapped her arm around her, a silent promise of comfort. "Come on, darling. It's time to go home." As they took her from me, her tear-filled eyes locked onto mine, a silent plea lingering in the air. In that fleeting moment, I nearly reached for her again. So close. Warren's hand pressed firmly on my shoulder. "That was brutal," he whispered. "Are you all right?" "No," I replied truthfully, "yet I will be." Weeks rushed by in a whirlwind. I immersed myself in work, grabbing every overtime shift available. Between jobs, I searched for a new home. I could no longer bear the weight of that house, haunted by the ghosts of a life built on deception. I discovered a decent apartment near work in Nampa, Idaho. 2 bedrooms, a space for Riley, if perhaps things ever improved between us. I couldn't bring myself to let her go entirely. Through it all, she remained my child. Wendy's calls rang out, but I let them slip into silence. Her messages swung wildly, rage-fueled threats, desperate cries, and icy discussions over the trivial remnants of their shared life. I replied solely to the practical messages, and only via text. 3 weeks post-hearing, Riley's grandmother, Clara, called me. "Evan, it's about Riley," she whispered, her voice strained. "She's struggling." My heart shattered. "What's the matter? Is she unwell?" "Not in body. She barely touches her food. Rest eludes me. Her grades are plummeting. She's shattered, Evan. She believes you've left her behind." I exhaled sharply, my fingers pressing against my temple. Clara had known about the affair for months, and she kept it from me. She looked me in the eyes and said she wished another man had been her father. What am I meant to do with this? A heavy silence lingered. Clara finally revealed. "Wendy warned Riley she'd be sent to boarding school if she ever mentioned Roger to you." I crashed into the seat. What is happening? Wendy's words cut deep. If Riley messed up, she'd ensure Riley felt the weight of her regret. She was caught in her parents' storm, Evan. She erred, yet her mother's influence loomed large. Words escaped me. Hurt and furious, I never stopped to think that Riley could have been forced to keep the secret. "Are you ready to speak with her?" she inquired. "Truly speak? She needs to know you don't hate her." "I'll swing by tomorrow after work." I swore an oath. The next day, I arrived at Clara and Bob's in Spokane, and there was Riley, alone on the front porch. She appeared hauntingly frail, her pallor accentuated by the deep shadows beneath her eyes. Her once proud hair now lay in a chaotic ponytail. She rose at the sight of me, hesitation etched on her face. "Your grandmother reached out to me, saying you're struggling." She averted her gaze, her shoulders dropping. "I'm okay." I sank onto the porch steps, patting the space beside me, inviting yet heavy with unspoken words. With a fleeting pause, she took her seat. "Grandma whispered that Mom threatened you about the Roger secret. I had to know." Riley's body tightened next to mine. She threatened to cast me out, to sever ties with my friends, blaming me for shattering her happiness. I inhaled sharply, battling the surge of fury directed at Wendy. Why didn't you say that in court? Or even earlier? Fear gripped me as she whispered, shame flooding my heart. I understood the wrongness of Mom's actions, yet I felt lost, unsure of how to respond. We lingered in silence, the weight of unspoken words heavy between us. I never wanted Roger as my dad, she finally admitted. I just can't. Mom insisted he was flawless, that their happiness was guaranteed. I wanted to trust her, to think that a flawless life awaited us. Life's a mess, kiddo. Soulmates and fairy tale endings are mere illusions. People strive, falter, and triumph in the relentless dance of life. She nodded, tears glistening as she wiped her eyes. I understand that now. Yet another silence. I miss you, Dad, she whispered, her voice trembling. A weight in my chest released. I pulled her close, wrapping my arm around her shoulders. Missing you deeply, Riley. She pressed against me, and in an instant, tears flowed, her body trembling uncontrollably. I embraced her, allowing her tears to flow, my own eyes stinging with emotion. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, she cried, her voice breaking with each word. I understand, I said to her. I see you are. Once she found her breath, I asked, how would you feel about visiting my new apartment this weekend? It's simple, but there's a room waiting for you if you need it. Her gaze met mine, a flicker of hope igniting for the first time. Seriously? Truly? There's much to tackle, and it won't be resolved in an instant. You're still my daughter, Riley. That will never change. Her embrace was fierce, a painful grip that spoke volumes. I want that, she whispered. I would love that. Just as I turned to go, Clara grabbed my arm at the door. Thank you, she whispered, her voice trembling. I'm sorry, Bob and I. We should have spoken up when we discovered what Wendy was up to. She's our daughter, and that's all that matters. We believed she'd finally see the truth. I nodded, a deep understanding washing over me like never before. In our quest to shield our children, we often stumble. Then the final divorce hearing arrived. It felt like a mere formality, yet the weight of it lingered heavily in the air. The judge solidified the temporary orders, making them permanent with slight tweaks. Riley would divide her time between my apartment and her grandparents' house, with the chance to stay with Wendy on some weekends if she chose. She never did. Wendy arrived, solitary, Roger absent. She appeared worn, frail, shadows haunting her eyes. She remained silent, only nodding when the judge inquired if she grasped the terms. Just as we stepped out of the courthouse, she rushed to me in the parking lot. Evan, please, wait. I paused, bracing for what was to come. What is happening? She inhaled sharply. I'm sorry for everything. I gazed at her, searching for a glimpse of the woman I had cherished for 19 years. Isn't it a bit too late for that? Her gaze fell to her trembling hands. Roger is gone. He stood there, heart racing, every breath a battle. The weight of the moment pressed down, and the silence screamed. What would he choose? Time hung in the balance, and the world faded away. He was a stranger in disguise. I was powerless to stop it. I laughed, a sound bursting forth, raw and unrestrained. You discarded everything we built for someone who vanished in just a month. Timeless. That's not how it was, she insisted, her voice trembling. He felt like a stranger now. So the dream fell short of the truth. Her silence spoke volumes. I messed up, Evan. A devastating error. Absolutely you did. Many indeed. Her gaze met mine, revealing the tears she had shed. What if? Could we possibly? I ended it with her. Never in this life. You shattered my trust, Wendy. You deceived me for so long. You twisted her mind and instilled fear in her heart. You dared to take from me. You shattered every promise you ever made. All is lost. I love you still, she breathed. I shook my head, disbelief coursing through me. Absolutely not. You crave my presence as your safety net now that your dream has shattered. Her body recoiled as if I'd struck her. It's unjust. This isn't fair, Wendy. Welcome to the raw truth. I took a step back, heart racing. He struck me, she gasped. I froze, my back to them. Roger, she pressed on, her voice thick with urgency. He stood there, heart racing, the weight of the world pressing down. Every breath felt like a battle. Every moment stretched into eternity. Hope flickered like a dying flame, yet he clung to it with desperate hands. His rage simmered just beneath the surface. I never noticed it until we shared a space. His rage would ignite over the slightest spark. Then one night, everything changed. In that moment, anger ignited within me. No one should endure such pain, not even her. Did you report him? I asked, my gaze fixed elsewhere. Yeah, she whispered. Now, there's a restraining order in place. I turned back at last. Excellent. I'm so grateful you took that step, at the very least. Right now, I'm with my cousin, she revealed. The salon reduced my hours. I was unraveling after it all. I understood her intentions all too well. Money, shelter, a chance to reclaim her past. That ship was gone, struck by fate, and now lies in the depths of despair. I truly wish for brighter days ahead for you, I said, and I meant every word. It's no longer my burden to bear. I walked away. A weight lifted. A spark ignited within me. The divorce is done. The past is gone. It was time to mend things with Riley and confront the chaos of my future. In just 6 months, everything can shift dramatically. I've been promoted at work, leading my own team to install electrical systems in new commercial buildings in Caldwell, Idaho. Better pay, consistent hours, and weekends free. Finally, some relief. Riley has been living with me full-time for 2 months now. She's thriving in school, dreaming of colleges, even dating a guy named Adam who appears all right. Still, I can't help but shoot him the death stare when he comes to pick her up. It's my fatherly duty. Riley and I have faced tough truths. Trust, family, mistakes, and the struggle to move on. It's still a struggle, but we're pushing through. She meets with her therapist weekly, unraveling the chaos of her past. She asked about her mom last weekend. They speak now and then, but Wendy's visits have been fleeting. Do you still feel her absence? What if we added a twist to this dish? Riley asked, her eyes sparkling with curiosity as we prepared dinner. The knife sliced through the vegetables, and my mind raced with thoughts. I long for the person I believed she was, I replied truthfully. Yet that person was never real. So, no, not really. Riley nodded, her eyes reflecting a deep understanding. She can't stop thinking about you. I laughed softly, wondering if you're with someone. She should focus on her own heart, not mine. I've started seeing someone. Not serious yet, but full of potential. She leads the projects for the construction firm that employs my electrical team in Nampa. Our eyes locked on the job site as she challenged me for my mistake with the wire gauge. She was absolutely right. No one informed me. The specs had changed. She's sharp, fearless, brings joy, and stands apart from Wendy in every crucial way. Having been through a divorce herself, She truly understands. The weight of past hurts, the scars of betrayal, the fear of falling once more. We're moving at a measured pace. She's crossed paths with Riley a few times, just fleeting dinners. Riley's affection for her brings a wave of relief. Wendy reaches out now and then, usually for practical matters. Tax documents, health insurance questions for Riley. Yet, occasionally, she attempts to delve deeper, seeking a personal connection. I maintain a firm line between personal and professional. Forward is the only way, and truthfully, I wouldn't have it any other way. Last month, I encountered her parents at Riley's school concert in Meridian. Initially tense, Bob grasped my hand firmly and declared, "You're a good father, Evan." More impressive than we ever acknowledged. It fell short of an apology, yet it carried weight. Roger broke the restraining order and ended up in Ada County lockup for a month. I heard it through the grapevine. I'm not torn up over it. A year ago, I would have shattered at the thought of my wife leaving for another man, with my daughter helping to conceal it. It felt like a nightmare I couldn't survive. For a moment, it almost succeeded. Yet here I stand, perhaps even stronger than I once was. Life shattered, then clawed its way forward. It improved. Not in a cinematic, flawless way, but in a way that your heart doesn't shatter each time you step inside your own home. The silence in my home once howled. At last, there is tranquility. Riley and I were everything. Truly exceptional. It was a journey filled with raw truths, but we rediscovered our path together. Her emotional maturity has reached astonishing heights. She says she wants to study psychology to help kids face the struggles we rarely discuss in families. That's her very soul, man. She possesses it. Wendy remains out there, forging her own path. Last I heard, she's with some guy from a car dealership in Twin Falls, Idaho, drowning in cologne and calling everyone bro like it's cool. Riley catches up with her every few weeks for lunch or something more meaningful. I stepped back, allowing them their distance. I'm drained, unable to manage that tension anymore. What about me? I'm holding on. Rachel arrived not long ago. She defies my expectations, yet fulfills my deepest desires. We embrace simplicity. Her laughter ignites Riley's spirit. That alone deserves a gold star. Sold the house, finalized the paperwork, and left behind the haunting memories. Share the profits with Wendy. Label it a deal forged for the sake of sanity. I stand by my choices during the divorce. A squirt gun won't stop a raging forest fire. When your world is ablaze, you seize the hose, dial for help, and clear away the ashes. Fresh start, no regrets. I regret how I dealt with Riley. Anger surged, pain cut deep, blindsided by betrayal. I transformed that hurt into an impenetrable wall between us, spent moments dissecting it, but we're okay now, beyond exceptional, truly. She pushes me, confronts me, fills me with a pride that brings tears to my eyes. By the way, Roger is Wendy's soulmate. He fell apart in an instant, revealed as controlling, manipulative, and consumed by paranoia. A collection of the most alarming signs. Riley revealed he landed in jail when everything turned violent. Wendy was rushed to the hospital. Karma has a strange way of working. It may not arrive swiftly, but it never truly fades away. Am I filled with regret? I'm lost. Abuse is a nightmare I wouldn't wish on anyone, yet the sting of her betrayal lingers. She manipulated, deceived, and attempted to erase my existence as if I were nothing but a flaw in her perfect narrative. That's her choice. She forged the bridge. She set it ablaze. Watched it tumble, heart racing, breath caught. To all the DMs asking if Riley is really mine, enough. That girl belongs to me in every way that counts. A father is more than just DNA. It matters. It truly does. Life is no fairy tale. Yet I've escaped the nightmare. In the ruins of your relationship, if you're searching for a way forward, hope exists. You move forward. You rise again. You guard your tranquility as if it were a treasure. It simply is. Thanks for watching this story on Addy's Story. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to like, share, and hit that subscribe button so you never miss a new tale. Stay tuned for more. And until next time, take care and keep living your own amazing stories.